Good evening. Wipe this fucking camera off. No. Tried to do this a couple times. I just figure I'm just gonna try and keep this short. After this morning and everything, I didn't even finally go to sleep till about noon. I set my alarm for like 4:30 to try to wake up then. Just couldn't get up then. I ended up waking up at 3. Of course, let the puppies out and got some chicken and bacon out. Made some chicken wraps for dinner tonight. Called my folks to check on my mom and see how she was doing. She's doing alright. She went and got checked out. She got some good bruising, but the one part that she got, it's mostly bruised. She got good in one spot. Got it good in one spot, but thankfully, sorry, that's the dryer, and it's gonna do that a couple times. But Dad, got it cleaned up, doing good and all that. And then when they got it checked out, they just went ahead and gave her some antibiotics just in case. But no, she's doing good. We got callers lined up for them, and as the first step to deterring this shit, and hopefully retrain them in this bullshit, because I can only do so much from here. And so we'll see what happens on that. This next week, the home will be properly relisted. And yeah, cutting out the third party, so it's just going to be more beneficial all the way around. Just dealing with the shit, dealing with everything that's been going on. Trust me, when the home gets sold, I'm looking forward to getting a little bit of counseling therapy myself. No, honestly, I just really wish I had a friend around, just somebody to hang out with, somebody to shoot the shit with, that type of stuff, because can't really trust anybody around here. That's how it feels. And my buddy Nate, he's got his, life going and all that stuff, and doing his thing. I mean, yeah, this whole situation really affected even that friendship. It didn't cause us to be any less friends. It's just, I've distanced myself from everybody. That's, yeah. Other than this, I'm not really dealing with social media or anything like that. I'm pretty much, I might go on Twitter, X, once in a while, but I don't really spend time on there at all. I don't really go on there anymore at all. Same with anything else. I get curious about some things and said just like for the fuck of it and go look and like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I just need to continue what I've been doing, and that's just focus moving forward. The healing aspect of things. Got fucking hair hanging off my fucking ear. Gross. No. But, now it's gonna fucking bug me. But, there we go. For most part, I think I'll have to get in there and do the old man thing. The whole trim the ears like I've got a beard growing out of my fucking ear. But, no, I've got what was I saying? I'm just trying to get my shit together. There's moments there, it's like, yeah, I want to pop back on, talk to different people and stuff. It's just right now, it's not the right time to do so. I'm still processing the shit with my dog. I'm still processing the stuff that's been going on with my folks. the shit with his house, just everything. I mean, there's just been so much shit. I can't. It's one of those situations, and I think the only people who could truly understand what I'm saying is, are people who have also been through some form of narcissistic abuse for a long period of time, and I mean a long period of time. We're not talking like a 6-month relationship or a year. We're talking 12 years that ended in a situation that it causes your reality to kind of like completely like shatter on you. Like you're trying to figure out, okay, what was real and what's not anymore. Like yeah, you're having to sift through every like moment the best you can and go, was that real? Like, was this bullshit? And that's the kind of mind frame that they sort of put you in. When you start breaking free of that bond, because for me it's still there. I know for a fact, like before, unless it sounds stupid, unless I had someone there to basically like keep me from going to the dog whistle, coming to the call of the dog whistle. I have to try and avoid every aspect of that verbal communication on it, like I did before. And being down here alone, it makes it that much harder. Not being able to trust anybody makes it even harder. No, that's why, yeah. I've just gone into isolation from this shit because it's been too much. And my mind really, I can't really do too much more with it. I can't deal with it much more. I haven't been able to. And the one thing that did click in my mind this morning when I did that vid was I realized that the amount of shit that I've gone through from childhood to now, even though I keep telling myself I can't take too much more, it's like I realize I've gone through a lot of shit and I'm still here. And I'm still in a situation where I have a chance to turn my life around. It's just trying to get through this last little bit. It's like I've been running through a fucking gauntlet. And the last section of a gauntlet is fucking running through a fucking incinerator with glass shards for a floor, butt ass naked, hoping not to singe the hair off your butt and balls. And yet you can still see the light on the other side. It's like, dude, I've got like 10 feet to go. I can see it's right there. But I know this last part, it's really, it's hurting. It's done its thing, and I'm going to come out of this. I definitely have my scars from this. My collection of scars now. To go with the rest of my collections. I know sometimes I can confuse people because I can smile about things at times that really most people really struggle with. People who've known me when I was a child, I was a super smiley person. I was always happy, smiling all the time. Even in high school, I was like that all the time, all the way up until about about 6-7 years ago. I mean, you can see that, in a couple of my vids, like from back in 2013, I have a couple up. And I think on my other channel, possibly. But I was a really happy, laid-back, easygoing person. But then, while all that was going on, I was dealing with somebody behind my back, turning me into a monster to everybody. And over time, that broke me. And even then, I can still smile through the tough shit because what can you do? And I understand part of it is about trying to change your mind frame and all on things and redirecting it. And sometimes, like anybody, can't say anybody else because there's some people who are so fucking cold-hearted they can jump from one bed to another to another to another and not think twice about it and then tell you how much they feel bad when they come back around. So that shit fucks your head up. All the ripple effect that it's caused and how it's affected even the lives surrounding myself from our animals to my folks and all that stuff, how it's affected friendships, relationships, everything like that. It's like the only reason why I've posted some of the vids I have is this isn't just a way of coping and just kind of sharing my daily. Yeah, I wish I could start sharing more positive shit again. I'd almost rather be working on my other channel than this one. And all that stuff. That's why I try to keep the two separate, because this one's just more of my daily, and the fact that I've kind of lost that motivation and a little bit of inspiration right now to do with some of what I was doing on my other channel. And this has just been kind of a coping mechanism. I don't have anybody to talk to. Like I said, I got my one buddy. But I'm not sure I'm going to be... You can only... I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to leave baggage with them every fucking time I talk to them. That's not how friendships are for, They're, that's why I said get paid. That's what a counselor's for. But... prop you up against this. I have to be careful what YouTube will allow us to show on here at the given moment, considering what that's propped up on. But realistically, just right now, I just really wish I had someone just to help keep me distracted, just a friend. I'm not looking for anything more really right now. I'm open to possibilities and shit. Just I'm leaving it in God's hands. I'm oblivious to certain things, and as is, I already know how I am when it comes to phones. I have trouble talking on phones. I have to get used to the person before I can really even answer the phone. Like the realtor, most of the communication I had with her at first when I first started dealing with selling the house, it was mostly by text and email, until a couple times there we had to deal with the talking on the phone to deal with some of these other things. And yeah, those couple times it would take me a half hour or so to sorry, I'm still dealing with my anxiety. But it would take me like 30 minutes at times to an hour to get myself to a point where I felt I could call my realtor back and talk to her, because she knew that she needed to talk to me. I would call her back with in a half hour to an hour. She knows that I have Asperger's, and talking on phones is not easy for me. Like the only people I can talk to on the phone for most part right now that I feel comfortable with, and of all things, is them, my ex. That's who I primarily talk to. And then my folks. Excuse me. And then my buddy Nate. Most others, I don't really feel comfortable sitting and talking on the phone with. And it takes me a little bit to get used to, because part of it's a trust factor too. And amongst other things. I still have that voice in my head that if I talk to this person, am I going to get in trouble and accused of cheating, even if I'm single now? I still have that shit going on. If I talk to that person, am I going to get accused of being an abusive piece of shit because I talked to somebody, just like that person would do? And the irony was, I got accused of everything that they were going out and doing. And I'd be stuck here just like this, as you're seeing, alone, dark fucking house, waiting for them to come home. Usually if they're coming home after work, by the time they get home, half the time I'd have dinner ready, otherwise I'd have dinner getting started by the time they get to the door. It's kind of an expectation. Otherwise, I'd have to get the guilt trips and the shame that dinner wasn't done fast enough. Otherwise, they're going to have to go to bed hungry and then wake up in the morning, tired and hungry for work. And yeah, I had to deal with the guilt trips. I had to deal with that manipulative bullshit. I couldn't even heart a post without getting accused of cheating. A Middle Eastern man that I was friends with that is a blacksmith. I've talked about this before. He was making a custom blacksmith hammer for me. And I was hearting the work, as he was doing it, he was showing me what he was doing. So one day, he'd show like the finished block for the hammerhead type thing. I hearted it. I liked what he was doing. And then each phase of it, it's like I love the work that he was doing. Oh, you're cheating on me, aren't you? That type of stuff. Like, I was getting accused of cheating at that point. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I know I can be a little bit on the, I don't know how to put it, feminine side, because I'm not exactly gay. I know I can be a bit on the feminine side. I know I can be emotional. But nowhere in the fucking world are you going to see me climbing under the sheets with something with a dick. Especially after what I experienced as a child. What I've experienced from my how my ex-wife walked. What I've experienced in every relationship that I've had. The unfaithfulness and the lack, no loyalty, the breadcrumbing, all that shit. And some of them put more effort than others. It's just the whole different thing. I don't want to get into it with these different ones. I wasn't perfect either. So when I say this stuff, I want people to understand I do recognize I wasn't perfect throughout everything. The one thing I always try to do is I try to think about if I'm with somebody, I try to think about if I do something, how are they going to feel about it? That's why I started becoming really super subconscious or whatever it is, self-conscious about who I talk to and all that stuff, because I get afraid that I'm going to get in trouble. That's why some people, I might, a message here, a message there, that type of thing, how you doing, what's up, and all. But I don't carry conversations with different ones and all necessarily because I'm afraid I'm going to get accused of something. Even now. It's actually why I got to the point of I deactivated my one Facebook account right now for a few days so I can just get a break from that shit. Just from social media in general. But it's hard for me to want to talk to some of these people. And one of them's an old sister of mine that I haven't seen in a long time. And really fucking awesome person. I love her to death. That's why I have always viewed her as my sister. And it was somebody that my brother and I used to hang out with when we were younger. And of all things, one of the few times that I was actually thankful that my brother went on. Well, I'm pretty sure when we met her, it was her friend that he was going to meet, and I think he met her through fucking Live Links back then. And he drugged me along. Take the bus, hop on the Max, get out there to go say hi and all that, just so he could go meet this chick and all that stuff. And that's when I met, them too. And yeah, was good friends with them for a long time. And I'm always gonna love them to death. It's my sister. I've just, like I said, if I understand the boundaries and the different forms of love. You can love somebody without going, oh, hey, let's fuck. You can do it. There's something wrong with you if you have to associate loving someone as a family member, your friend, your brother, your sister, and it's automatically associating that, oh, you love them, so you must sleep with them. No. The intimate type of love like that is reserved for your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, spouse, whatever that situation may be for you. It's not reserved for you to be with one person, have a relationship with them, but then you've got a relationship with somebody else to get what you need, intimately, and then you got a relationship with somebody else to get money, that type of shit. People like that acting like a player, fucking bouncing around multiple men or women. I watched my brother do that, and he got every ounce of karma that he deserved from that, and that was back when we were barely out of high school. He was juggling like 3 or 4 girls, and one of them, we're sitting there looking at him like, dude, for one, how the fuck did you do it? 2, you're dumb as shit to be doing what you're doing right now, because you're gonna fuck that up, playing all this shit, and you're gonna end up losing them all anyways. What happened? He lost them all. They all found out. Not. He still, with one of them, he maintained a relationship with. It's because I just, yeah. Oddly enough, I think she's open-minded like that. But I watched him do that, and as soon as they all start finding out, yep, got dropped quicker than shit. Got, at that time period, you know, kind of publicly embarrassed around the people that were around at the time. Thankfully, we didn't have Facebook and all that shit. And we had, I want to say back then, yeah, we had, like, I want to say we had MySpace and, like, Yahoo Messenger and that type of shit back then at that time. So we didn't have, you know, even cell phones with the cameras where we can record everything and post everything that's going on. And do what we can do today. If we were grown, like in the sense of we weren't fucking what at that time we're barely old, just old. We weren't even really old enough to buy our own liquor at the time when he was doing that shit. And it's like, you know, I can see people doing stupid shit like that, you know, up until, you know, even into college. But when you're doing that shit in your 30s and into your 40s and so forth, it doesn't just say a lot about your maturity, and your moralities, your integrity. It says a lot about you in every aspect as a human being. That you will never be reliable, you'll never be trustworthy, you'll never be loyal. And when you can do stuff like that to people who loved you, trusted you, was loyal to you, and faithful to you for a number of years, you know, any number of years, and you get this person to believe that you're committed to that while you're, you know, slowly pulling away things that sustain that relationship, those different things, and you're going to other people on purpose to get it from them at the expense of the person you're with. That, like I said, there's something very wrong with you when you do that shit. You know, should have grown. That's something that young, stupid people do. And young, stupid people don't care about who they fucking hurt necessarily, even if it's older women trying to make them feel good. All they're looking for is to make themselves feel good. And all that. You know, we were all young before. But when we start getting in our 30s and 40s and we start neglecting our relationships to go get someone else wet, you have nobody else but yourself to blame for why your relationship failed, while your spouse was treated the way they were by you. Or your significant other, however it was. You're at fault for, when it comes down to it, you're at fault for the problems that preceded that point. Because when you're taking the time to build up relationships with other people, digitally, online, and chat, or, you know, on private messages and on social media and all that, and you're intentionally doing this on multiple platforms and all this crap, you literally have nobody to blame but yourself for why your relationship failed, and why you left that person that you're blaming for everything that went wrong was the one sitting there alone at home, waiting for you and fighting for a relationship, begging for you to prioritize it, while you told everybody else what kind of piece of shit they were. So that way you can feel better about what you're doing behind their back. And I'm addressing that as to anybody who's been doing that shit, men or women. Like I said, my buddy Jess, if he was still alive and he did that shit, I'll tell you right now, I'd downright go right to his fucking wife or girlfriend or whoever, and I'd fucking tell him what he was doing. It's one thing when... No, not really. I mean, yeah, people, you know, when split and there's a separation in a relationship, both people are split apart, that people will do stupid shit at times. But when you're still together and you're still stringing somebody along and you're out having relations behind that person's back, or you're sitting there at night checking your phone every, you know, half hour to see who sent you a message real quick, so because you're getting anxiety, wanting to see, you know, you're getting excited for the next fucking fix of your sick addiction, you literally have nobody to blame but yourself. And the best way for all that is not only to get help, but to tell people the truth, so that the person you do it to doesn't have to tell the truth for you. And especially in a way that it's humiliating even for them, and it can be humiliating for everybody involved. You can't blame other people for why you put yourselves in the situations that you do, and making the choices that you do. I mean, the way I've been treated like I said, at least the last 5-6 years, because it's just been a complete mindfuck. I had every reason in the book to do exactly to her what she did to me. She had none. As far as I'm concerned, she's a scam artist. Not just a gold digger. She's a narcissistic, abusive scam artist. She don't care who she hurts, so long as she gets what she wants and can get approval from a specific person, because that seems to be the common complaint, that she really needs that person's approval, and it doesn't matter at what expense that she gets it. And 2, she needs to have approval of her friends. Trust me, once she has you in a relationship, she's going to start withdrawing from you too. And each time she leaves you and comes back, it's going to happen faster and faster. And the way things have been going, there's a lot of things I question about. Yeah, I think she was holding relations with somebody quietly for a couple years, beyond just the other person and the list of men that she slipped and showed me that she had been pursuing online. I really hope I can meet somebody that can help me make this walking way easier. And I'm not talking about doing what she did, and that's go crawl underneath somebody else. I'm not about that, but I wish I had a friend right now. I really wish I had somebody to hang out with, talk to. Sitting here alone all the time, just alone with my thoughts all the time, just dealing with this, it creates a situation of I'm even causing myself to get stuck, and I don't like this. I'd like to have something else to think about. It'd be nice if I could, make a post on here that really has no relation to this bullshit I've been dealing with, and just be like, dude, guess what? I had the greatest fucking time of my life. For a while, or whatever. I had the greatest time in a long time, whatever it is. And be able to share something like that. Like, today was a great day. Where for me, I can look at, today and be like, even where my dog's concerned, my parents and all that, and everything that's been going on. Today, yeah, it was a good day. I woke up. I got through the day. I still got to eat dinner. I've got something to drink. What more could you ask for? Yeah, it's been good, and I'm actually thankful that I can get through the day alive. While simultaneously, I can admit I'm getting tired of doing this alone. It's been too many. At this point, it's been too many years being alone, while somebody else was out. While I was here being faithful, I was dealing with somebody who was out being unfaithful. And so, as I've been saying, being stuck here in this type of situation, it's been a battle not to get stuck on that situation. Anyways, things, I'll be alright. As I said this morning, with the amount of shit I've dealt with and all, and I'm still here and I'm still going, I'll be alright. I can get through this last bit where this house is concerned, and things, I'll be able to take one opportunity, return that opportunity, while at the same time turning it into another opportunity, because I don't want to waste this. I really don't want to fuck this up. I know that right now because of, my own emotional and mental bullshit going on right now that's stemming from all this. I have to get myself to refocused and done so properly, because otherwise, being in this mind frame, I'll fuck up, and that's what I don't want to do. As in, I don't want to mess anything up when it comes to not just getting another home to replace this one after it sells, but reinvesting properly. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I should have my dog Nana back. Well, my folks will, because they're up there. I'm all the way down here. But they should get her back here probably by the beginning of this week, I think. This next week. They did the same for her as they did for Masha, and to make sure that they got her the best earn that they could and all that. She deserves it. One thing having my faith in God and all that, one thing I'm hopeful for and I pray for in a lot of ways. We all pray that we can all get a chance to go to heaven, but the one thing that I do pray for is, outside of the people that I really care and love about, my animals, my pets, all of them, past and present, whether I get a chance to go to heaven or not, even though I'm baptized Christian, I leave it in God's hands to pass His judgment on me. I'm not God, so I can't judge myself for Him on where I'm going. Even if I want to hope that because I was baptized, I've been saved and all that stuff, that I'm going to heaven. No, that's still in God's hands. But when it comes to my pets and animals, that's all I hope for, is at least them and my friends and family, the people I care about, including my ex and others like them. And those watching this, no matter what happens to me, I just hope everybody else at least gets to go through those gates. Because it's not my place to make that decision on who goes and who stays, who goes where. I have faith that my pets are there, and that's why. And when it comes to the fact, also, it's only been like a month apart between my two dogs and just everything going on. I'm mentally and emotionally drained. I'm burned out. So yeah. Just trying to keep going forward as normal, and whenever this, I guess you could say, this fucking phase fucking ends and the next begins, it's not necessarily going to get any easier, but at least I know I'm going to have the chance to make it better and have a better start for myself, and if at the very least my animals. I can't do much for anybody else right now that doesn't want to be a part of it. I'll just say it that way, I guess. So yeah, have a good night.